like it's just like, come on, man. And the NBA is not. The NBA is more reactive than proactive. Like the NBA want to see how stuff goes, then they're gonna try to, but the NBA don't even try to fix it. That's the one thing I can give the NFL credit for. All right, we have Dez Bryant. Did he catch it? Did he not? We don't know. All right, so we're gonna put in replays for pass interference calls or catches. All right, so these are the rules. They're constantly changing things every year to try to make the game.
I agree.
As best as they could. With Adam Silver, who I must agree with Rob Parker on Fox Sports, might be going down as the worst commissioner of all time in sports, because the way that the game has taken a decline. So yeah, people are saying that the 90s are boring now, but they weren't saying that in the 90s.
Nah, at all.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a time. That's what I was gonna say when you had said
that. It's a thing of errors too. Like obviously, as time goes on, the game is going to evolve, and I get that 100%. But now, Steph Curry single-handedly changed the way the game of basketball has been played,
and analytics.
Thank you, Steph Curry.
They go hand in hand. Yeah.
And Daryl, I say Daryl Morey because he was one of the founding fathers of the analytical thing, who is now the GM.
That was the Rockets GM, right?
Yeah, he's now the GM in Philly, but he wanted to do the analytics thing, which is why we started to see the James Harden step backs. This is why then D'Antoni comes in, and D'Antoni is saying, like, if it ain't like you don't shoot a 2 unless it's at the rim. If it's not at the rim, you better be behind the line. Like, analytics says this, and like, I'm all for analytics, but analytics can only do so much when you actually playing the game and you actually out there seeing what's happening. You see because it's all about getting the best look, the best opportunity. So Steph Curry and analytics, absolutely. Steph Curry can't do that. Like, he can't help that he's the greatest shooter in the world. It's not his fault. He may admit it, he may not, and it's not his fault, but he did change the game. And it's analytics' fault because everybody want to go to analytics and say, oh, this is that. And yeah, you got your spots. But for you to stay there and settle, because now it gets to the point to where, okay, because analytics says this, now we're settling. And on top of that, now you got in players' heads that only play a certain amount. Well, I got to stay in this corner. I got to stay in this corner because this is the only way I'm going to play. And if I knock this shot down, that means I'm going to get more playing time. The more playing time I get, the more opportunities I get to knock it down. The more threes I knock down, the incentives I hit, the more I increase our team's productivity and my part. Now my contract gonna come and I'm gonna be a heavy hitter when it's time for me to go. Like, it's too much stuff instead of just watching the best in the world just hoop. And that's what makes the game hard to watch now. I like watching Oklahoma City. And I like watching the Rockets. It's kind of tough because we do a lot of stupid stuff, especially like Jalen Green gets to settling and everything. It gets tough. But I really like watching Oklahoma City because they are arguably the most balanced team in the NBA. And they don't do a lot of settling for threes. All of their threes, I believe like 75 to 80% of the threes that they take are great looks. Great looks. Whereas you look at the rest of the league, ISO, dribble, tween, back up, step back, double step back, pull up. Or I come down the court, 20 seconds on the shot clock, 3. Like, okay, bro. Like, come on, man. Y'all didn't even give yourself a chance to score. So I think that's where it's going. And I don't even want to mention the All-Star game and what they're gonna do. They doing a whole new format. So if that works, cool. But I don't see it working, because if what they did the past couple years isn't working, then I don't see anything at All-Star game working.
No, that I'm with you on that.